morning, my friends, and welcome to New Day Northwest. We are in the kitchen starting the show with a delicious food from a world-renowned author, recipe developer, and video host. Once the senior food editor at Bon Appetit, Claire Saffitz still focuses on the sweet side of life in her book, What's for Dessert, and recently she shared one of her simple loaf cakes.
So what are we making today?
So today I'm making a recipe from my book, What's for Dessert. This is a super easy cake from the cakes chapter. It is a fennel and olive oil cake with blackberries. And it's sort of unexpected. It has some great lemony flavor, but it's just really straightforward and a delicious cake.
It definitely sounds unexpected, but I'm more curious about the easy part because it always says it sounds easy, but is it really easy? Let's get started.
Yeah, so this is kind of basic cake method. It's an oil-based cake though, so I'm not starting by creaming together butter and sugar. But it's basically wet ingredients, dry ingredients, mix everything together. So I have my dry ingredients. This is all-purpose flour, a little baking powder, baking soda, and kosher salt. Then I'm going to mix my liquid ingredients. I have some whole milk yogurt here. It's not Greek, just regular old yogurt. Then I'm mixing in 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, a little bit of vanilla extract. And that's the wet ingredients. Then I have a cup of sugar here. I'm going to add 2 eggs to this. And this bakes in a loaf pan. You could bake it in a 9-inch round, but it looks really pretty as a loaf because we add this colorful glaze on top. So I have my loaf pan ready to go. It has a little bit of parchment paper lining the inside, just on 2 longer sides. Makes it really easy to lift out the cake.
Yes, that is something I learned very late in life, and I'm glad that I now know about the parchment paper pulley secret.
Yes, parchment paper means that there's no need for nonstick cookware, which can often lead to overcooking. So it's just really convenient to have that there. I have my eggs and my sugar, and I'm just whisking this. Now, the recipe says to use a hand mixer, but it's very, very doable by hand. Okay. The whole book has no stand mixer required because that's an expensive piece of equipment. A lot of people don't have that. And then the secret ingredient is this infused olive oil that I have. So this is something that I made a little while ago. So it's cool. This is olive oil where I sizzled some fennel seeds in there. Just a 1/4 teaspoon is all you need. And it really adds an incredible kind of licoricey perfume to the cake. And there's also some lemon zest in here. So this has been cooled. So I'm going to put all of that in there. And I just kind of streamed it in to the eggs and to the sugar. So this mixture is now really light and thick. And now I'm going to add my dry ingredients and my wet, kind of alternating. So about 1/3 of the dry.
Can this be done with gluten-free flour too?
This is a great recipe to adapt for gluten-free. Loaf cakes, it's a high moisture cake. That oil keeps things really moist. So this is a great one to adapt for gluten-free baking. Definitely. Just use the same amount of flour, but use your preferred mix of gluten-free flour. And then the last thing to go in is my blackberries. So I've set aside 2 blackberries, and you can do this with frozen, so you can make this all throughout winter. And I'm just going to toss the blackberries with a little bit of flour. So that helps prevent the berries from sinking inside the cake to the bottom. So they kind of stay distributed evenly throughout.
Okay.
So that just gets tossed together. That goes into the batter. And then I'll fold everything together. Now my oven is at 350, and this bakes for between 50 minutes and an hour. And now all of this just gets scraped right into my loaf pan. This is one that I baked a little bit earlier. And it has this really pretty pink glaze. So I have some of the ingredients that I used in the cake. I've pulled out a little extra, and I'm going to use this for the glaze. So I have a little olive oil, a little lemon juice, a little bit of yogurt. And I'm just going to get all of this into my bowl. But the first thing I'm going to do is I reserved 2 blackberries. So I'm going to go ahead and smash these just with a spoon. And just those 2 blackberries makes the prettiest, sort of almost magenta glaze. Then I'm going to add those other liquid ingredients. That little bit of yogurt helps to thicken the glaze.
I was going to ask what the yogurt was kind of for, but
yeah, it just makes a really nice consistency. So then I'm going to add, I have powdered sugar here, 3/4 of a cup. And then it always seems like you have too much sugar.
Always.
A little bit of liquid really thins it out. So just whisk slowly at first, and it will seem really thick, but it will thin out.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
it's like science right there.
It comes together, it dissolves instantly. It really dissolves so quickly. And that's it. That came together so fast, and we have this beautiful pink glaze.
Oh, that looks delicious, Claire. Oh my gosh.
It's so
This is
easy.
just one of many cakes you have in your new book, right?
Yes, I have a whole chapter on super easy cakes, nothing complicated, no stand mixer required, no fancy buttercreams or layer cakes, all just kind of simple, everyday cakes that you can snack on. This is just one of many in the new book.
And if you would like to give Claire's fennel and olive oil cake a try, we've got it on our website. Just text, or you can just text the word recipe to 206-448-4545. We'll send you the link straight to your phone. You can try it tonight. And then later in the show, we're